For the first time in its 87-year history, Volkswagen is considering shutting down manufacturing plants in its home country of Germany. This proposal triggered immediate outrage. CEO Oliver Blume faces fierce resistance from powerful labor unions, who view these closures as a profound betrayal. To understand how shocking this is, you have to look at what Volkswagen became. The company that started with the iconic People's Car grew into a 114-factory global behemoth, employing nearly 675,000 people. This chart shows exactly why management is panicking. It tracks automotive cash flow over a single year. In the first half of 2023, they were up 2.5 billion euros. By early 2024, that number crashed below zero to a negative 100 million. Volkswagen spent decades building the ultimate manufacturing machine, perfectly calibrated for an integrated, borderless global economy. But that deeply connected world is fracturing. And that shift has left the automaker exposed on three vastly different geographic fronts at the exact same time. We have to start in China. For years, this was Volkswagen's primary profit engine, historically generating up to 40% of its total sales and half of its global profits. Then the math shifted. Heavy government subsidies and a push for zero-emission tech triggered a mass adoption of electric vehicles that favored local players. Local tech-native startups and telecom giants moved in. They started offering electric vehicles at lower prices, equipped with advanced software and infotainment systems that native consumers actually wanted. Volkswagen was caught flat-footed. CEO Oliver Blume recently acknowledged the reality, stating flatly that the company cannot currently keep up at the top of the table in China. Their most reliable overseas cash cow has turned into a major financial liability, losing ground rapidly to faster, more agile local innovators. Meanwhile, back in Europe, the regulatory environment forced a massive pivot. The European Union mandated a phase-out of new internal combustion engine cars by 2035, pushing Volkswagen into an accelerated transition to electric manufacturing. But there is a gap between regulatory targets and consumer behavior. Broad demand for EVs across Europe has unexpectedly flatlined. This creates an operational nightmare. Volkswagen is now trapped running highly inefficient dual production lines, one for gas-powered cars, one for electrics. This mismatch has resulted in a staggering production overcapacity of roughly 500,000 unsold vehicles. Compound that with an immediate geopolitical shock. The Russia-Ukraine war severed Volkswagen from the Russian market entirely, costing them over 200,000 sales a year, and permanently spiked the cost of energy and raw materials back in Germany. Volkswagen's home turf has mutated from a secure stronghold into a high-cost regulatory trap, where they are burning cash just to keep factories running. When an automaker's two biggest markets are bleeding cash, they need a strong third market to act as a buffer. But Volkswagen historically failed to gain a foothold in the United States, leaving them without that critical safety net. To see how a different strategy plays out, look at Toyota. They generate similar global revenue to Volkswagen, but they've navigated this same period with record profitability. This chart breaks down regional sales. VW is skewed towards China and Europe, while Toyota balances volume across North America, Japan, and just 20% in China. Technologically, Toyota employed a hybrid hedge, offering multi-pathway hybrid vehicles instead of an all-in bet on electrics. Volkswagen's current spiral stems from a rigid global strategy that left them exposed to regional shocks, with no geographic or technological safety net to catch the fall. To survive, Volkswagen is adopting a new strategy they call selective decoupling. They are stepping away from a single integrated global supply chain in favor of building isolated, regionally specific ecosystems. In China, this means swallowing their pride. Volkswagen is spending $700 million to partner with a local startup called XPeng, just so they can access highly competitive Chinese EV technology. In North America, they are attempting to manufacture local appeal by reviving the rugged Scout brand specifically for U.S. consumers, while building a massive battery plant in Canada to take advantage of localized protectionist tax credits. The job of a legacy automaker is different now. engineering a great machine is only half the equation. They now have to navigate a fractured landscape of punitive tariffs, rising tech nationalism, and localized trade wars. The battle over shutting down German factories shows the model of the deeply integrated world car has reached its limit in this fractured global economy.